Long Gone recording in process. It's a beautiful day here in East Hampton, Jason. The birds are fucking chirping. The breeze is breezing. The leaves are green. But I would rather be inside looking at all of that podcasting because I'm already bored out of my fucking skull. How are you feeling today?
I'm over here in rustic Deer Valley, Utah. It's a beautiful, beautiful area. There's some little kids practicing archery outside right now. I'm by the fireplace, had a little hotel coffee, and just kind of hanging.
I mean, look, we're both in no place to complain.
Watch me.
Who do you think's more bored, though, me or you?
I'm gonna go with you.
Just based on what you know about me.
Based on what you know about me, and based on my tools for relieving boredom.
My tools. Okay,
my tools, and also, I will be working all day, so it's hard to be bored and working, but I guess I can't remember the last time I was bored, actually. Maybe when I was like 11.
That's insane. There's nothing to do. I mean, I just want to work every hour of the day, and I do my best. But then once that's over, I'm not really sure what the vibe is out there. You know what I mean?
I do my best. Wait, when you said once the work is over?
Yeah, like once it's 7 o'clock or whatever. You know what I mean? It's okay. No one.
I was just to quote Daft Punk, work is never over.
Well, I'm saying once people stop responding to me, you know what I mean? In social or professional settings, I feel like I got to wrap it up. You know what I'm saying? It feels like a wrap it up moment for me. That's all I'm saying. I would obviously.
Once people stop responding to me.
Yeah, exactly. That's when you know it's time to pack it up. There's nothing left. If the people aren't responding, who are you talking to? Shouting into the void, as they say.
Oh wait, well, so that means you're done with your book?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
No, I mean, it's hard. I mean, there's so many things where like we have the immediate work in front of us, quote unquote, the whirlwind that some of our grustlers will talk about. And then there's the deep work that needs to be done. And it's so easy to not do that deep work. It's very easy to be like, I'm going to do this tomorrow. And then when tomorrow comes, you're like, I'm going to look at Instagram stories instead.
Well, I totally. And I think there's a few people that should have looked at we were talking about Vince Staples earlier. Big Vince should have kept looking at Instagram stories because I saw people talking about this album he put out, kind of defending it, being like, oh, you don't, whatever, blah, blah. And it is some of the worst music ever created. And that's a person who's like, Jason and I have listened to more power violence screamo 7 inches than you could imagine, and this is so much worse than that. It's staggering. It's shocking that Loma Vista Recording Company allowed this to be released into the wild. I'm honestly shocked. Like I thought people were being stupid. Like I thought people were being extreme, and then I finally listened, and boy was I wrong.
I mean, what do we do in this situation where the person and the personality is so beloved and enjoyable? It's a resource that needs to be protected. Him and a microphone, and 3 people laughing at him, and him just talking shit, and philosophizing, and everything in between. One of our greatest gifts of humanity, and then the music. I mean, it used to just be the music was there when he was making hip hop. It's just fine.
It's absolutely not offensive.
It's inoffensive, but it's not it's not tickling my taint whatsoever. Shout outs to him. More power to you. He had a good career, made money, all good. But man, I mean, it sounds like, at first, like the A$AP Rocky rock and roll record, which we've probably talked shit on a little too much, but it bears repeating because it is just that bad. And this sounds,
it's crazy,
just like that.
It's crazy because who are the white boys that are in the lab doing this to him? That's who I blame. We
can't blame Kenneth Bloom, can we?
No, we can't.
Kenny didn't touch this one.
I can't blame. Like, I just don't understand, because when people are like, "Oh, it sounds like the Black Keys at Alabama Shakes," I'm like, "Come on, guys, nothing sounds like Alabama Shakes. That's fucking crazy."
It sounds like a Krunga AI demo, or like you prompted how to make.
No, bro, Krungbin's 100 times more listenable than this. That's the fucked up. Like Krungbin's like hotel, Austin hotel lobby music, but at least it's like that. Like at least it's that.
I mean, I guess the Vin, it's inoffensive to the ears, kind of, but it's just like,
no, this feels
this. Who is it for? Why is it happening? But it reminds me exactly of A$AP Rocky, wearing like a punk rock style, Christian Dior leather jacket where, you know, some sweatshop like drew an anarchy sign on it and they're charging 17,000 and he has a megaphone and he's yelling.
Something
like,
about it is crazy.
I don't know, like something that like a 7-year-old.
I think the misunderstanding of punk is something that could be studied just in general. I think that like what, you know, like when it's 50 years removed and it's through several lenses and translations, I think the game of telephone has failed us.
And also, this has nothing to do with race, in my opinion, because there are a lot of amazing black people who make amazing punk rock, and they understand.
Oh yeah, for sure.
The sensibilities and the rhythms, and you know, from Bad Brains to everyone in between, horror. You know, from Bad Brains to horror and everything in between. You know, it's not like a rhythm issue or like a sensibility or like an understanding. It can happen. I think it's more so just a type of person whose understanding of music is maybe just, you know, very closed off and just.
Well, I can only imagine trying to do this as like a full grown adult that has never thought about it before. You know what I mean? Like I got a Ramones album 2 years ago, and now I'm trying to show that influence in my music. That's tough for it to work that way.
And also it's that style of, you know, the Vince Staples or the A$AP Rocky style, you know, rock and roll, rock out, punk rock, you know, white boy crazy style. It's the rhythm and the beat and like the song structure and like the timing of everything. It exists in between danceability and rhythm. It's like we don't know how to move to it. Like we have hip hop, we know how to move to it. We have, you know, Bad Brains, we know how to move to it. But when it's like this, you know, we produced it in Pro Tools. And
bro, I know how to move to it, bro. I know how to move to it. I'm fucking driving the G-Wagon through Calabasas to get a smoothie. That's how you move to it. What do you mean?
But if you watch A$AP Rocky performing on the Chanel stage, and it's like, this is the time of the song where we like, quote unquote, rock out.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
No,
what is the rock out?
It's impossible.
It's like a mutant pogo mix. It's just
you know who's rocking out? The 4 guys in the band that are paid to be there with fucking mohawks they got 2 weeks ago in Beverly Hills. That's who's rocking out to that shit.
The studio wizards who are like, all right, what is this? It's a punk rock song with 3 chords. All right, let me pull out the 8-string bass and then
dude, let me get the Ibanez and the 8-string and we're gonna fucking rock this thing out, guys. Yeah, it does feel like it all feels a little bit.
What if we, you know, the 38-year-old guy painting his nails black for the first time?
It just feels a little hot topic-y. There's no way for it to not feel like mall adjacent.
And it's not even, you know, people will make cultural appropriation jokes and, you know, leave this to the white boys. It's not that. It's a culture that doesn't exist. It's an invention of music and timing and structure and genre that didn't exist before for a reason. It's because it's a nothingness.
It's all new. It's an all new thing that we don't need.
I came to the cookout looking for a nothing burger and I got it.
Knicks lost last night, so I'm praying for all my New Yorker nowhere homies, all my Kith homies. I'm praying for y'all. Pour one out. Trump falling asleep last night at the game is kind of a testament to everything that it stands for in some ways. You know, how exciting is it? It's what I always say. It's more exciting to be on the floor than it is to be in the box.
Of course.
And I think that's why the billionaires were in the front row. They knew where to be.
Yeah, you never want to be comfortable. And I'm predicting it that Michael Bloomberg will die from internal bleeding in the next 48 hours. Unfortunately, he took a big hit at a big age, and it's not going to be tough to. Oh, okay, we got a lot going on over there, Jeremy.
No, pray for Bloomberg. All right, let's. We're going to give Jeremy Sisto, our guest, a call. He's on a construction site right now. It sounds like, but he's an actor and a musician. You recognize him from all sorts of television shows. He's got a new film that premiered at Tribeca last week, I believe, or soon.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into it with him. You're the first Starlink customer I've ever spoken to. How is the installation process?
Well, I haven't had it installed. I just have it in the back because I'm just kind of seeing if I want to use it or not. And it seems to be all right. But yeah, a buddy of mine was using it and he was saying it was a lot easier than regular Wi-Fi out here. So unfortunately, it hasn't made me sure-proof yet, but I'm hopeless.
All the stars haven't quite linked up just quite yet. Are you going to get a sticker for your Starlink wireless router that says "I got this before Elon lost his shit"?
Right? Yeah, I need one on my Tesla too. But I remember the first time we saw you see the Starlink in the sky.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was crazy. I was sure it was a.
They're saying that. Yeah, they're saying that. What plane was on? I think United's getting it. Somebody's getting it and they're really excited about it. But they keep saying they're excited about it, but it doesn't. It's not happening yet.
Just like Wi-Fi.
It's like I'm sure it's going to be great, guys. Just let me know when it's here, and then we can then it's time to get excited. But you were saying, we were talking about L.A. and suburban life. So where did you live in L.A.?
I'm Franklin Village for my 20s, Nichols Canyon for my 30s, and it was great. But it was, it's not much of a community. I grew up in Chicago, and I've lived in New York City a lot, and I like smaller towns that really put time into their parks and stuff. And LA just doesn't do that enough. I actually tried to get a whole re-envisioning of Pan Pacific Park going. I talk to politicians and stuff, and just because if you go to New York, you go to Atlanta, any great city, they have art in the parks, and it's an inspiring thing.
So you were trying to spearhead a reinvention of Pan Pacific Park, one of LA's biggest parks in West Hollywood. Is it technically West Hollywood, or is it just LA? I don't know.
I think it's Hollywood. Yeah.
Okay. So what were your plans? Because I have a lot of people who spend a lot of time there in my life, actually. So I'd love to hear some of your initial.
We have a direct line to Spencer Pratt if you want to figure out some.
No, I'm on with Pratt. We're working through it. It's going to be great.
Okay, so I know what you mean. You go to another city, and there's some beautiful art, and the lights turn on because people haven't ripped the copper wires out of the ground, and there's little to no urine happening from humans, and you wanted to get put the pan in Pan Pacific.
I wanted to, but I'm down with urine. I'm down with stuff like that.
Okay. Sure. The piss play rumors are true. Down with urine.
Just use that quote. I'm down with urine. Yeah, and but like even when they redid Pan Pacific Park, they just chose like sort of public park style, vibe, and there's no like.
They went back to the classic playbook of park stuff, and you wanted to shake things up.
Well, no, like Shakespeare. I mean, you go to San Francisco. There's like Shakespeare, but there's sculpture gardens. You walk through anywhere in Central Park. This thing is, Homestead designed it. It's like an amazing place to go.
You're making some points I've never thought about actually in my entire life, and you're right. Pan Pacific Park has like basketball courts and grass kind of. Yeah. There's not much.
Yeah, they've got like the two-tone cement walls. I mean, it's just whatever. It's fine, but I'm just saying, like, I don't go there to get inspired. And that's a problem. And LA is an outdoor place, so I've never understood that. But
well, I think the problem with LA is everyone's like we love the outdoor open spaces and parks and beach and everything, but people they focus on building out their backyard and how high the hedges can be, and you don't want to hang out at a public park if you live in LA. That's social suicide, man.
Yeah. It means your backyard is small or possibly non-existent.
Yeah, unless you're there to score. But I mean, in New York, you need the parks because you don't have the cold plunge in your backyard, and you don't have the archery range in your backyard like we all do in LA. So, you need it. Whereas LA, it's like, have fun at your little basketball court. We don't want to go there, and which I don't think that's good. Just to be clear.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, for me, I'm just the kind of guy who likes to go out into the world and just be surrounded by people. If you have a house, you got to have like dinner party. I mean, your social thing is all, and then I have an open door policy in my house, which is great, but it's a little different.
Open door policy. I'll come over right now. Don't test me. Don't
so you're saying Westchester's worst are available to come and knock on your door?
Worst? What do you mean open policy? But you mean with people specifically, if they're in the neighborhood, they can pop in.
Yeah, exactly. I had it more in LA because all my old friends, and it felt more flowy. But yeah, it's yes, everyone. So any suburb is like that. You have your little world that you can curate and make it what you like, which is fine. But I don't know. For me, it makes me feel sane when I can be surrounded by a lot of people doing their own thing.
I'm the same way.
You want to see people and you want to see life, as Morrissey says.
Yeah. As Morrissey said, it really is. I understand because I feel like I don't. I've lived in New York for a long time, and I bet I've been to Central Park. If I'm being 100% honest, less than 3 times. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, you stay in your neighborhood
inside the park downtown. So inside the park, I maybe for shoots and stuff I've walked alongside of it several times. You know, Guggenheim. Like I've got but I'm just not. I just the thought, I guess, of, and people do this, they take a train to go to the park. That seems psycho to me. It seems psycho to me.
Yeah, that's not something I'm doing either. But I do really enjoy the electric bikes and stuff. And that's how I used to just explore the city, was on a bike or a scooter or something like that. Because I don't like walking. I'm not a big walker. That seems boring to me.
Okay. So,
yeah.
So walking is straight up boring.
I just joined a walking group too. And it was just because they're my friends. I was like, all right, I guess
you're not old enough to be in a walking group.
I mean,
don't
I'm in
do
Westchester,
that to yourself,
bro. I'm in Westchester.
What happens in the walking group? Is it like a David Sedaris thing? You guys go pick up trash? Is it like a community service thing, or is it just to get out there and feel the wind in your hair?
Yeah, it's mostly guys in the music industry and just people who have like moved out here from wherever and seem to like it more than I. But they like to walk every day and.
They used to hate it until they found walking, and now it's transformed the place.
It's a light exercise with the fellas, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't like doing any exercise and talking. I mean, you know what I mean? I don't even like eating and talking. I just like one thing at a time.
I get that. I actually really get that. That's a cool way to approach life. I think the exercise in groups thing has really fucked up. Like, that's my time. That's Chris time. Like, I'm trying to lock the fuck in. I'm not trying to chat. I'm with you.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, what do you do for exercise?
You name it. I mean, mostly just like lift weights and run and pretty straightforward stuff. I mean, I'll do a yoga class.
Play ball at all?
Or basketball.
Yeah.
No. I kind of want to because I can see a park from my house where basketball is happening.
Yeah.
And I did play growing up and I'm pretty big. So I'm not going to, smoke anyone, but I can hold my own,
That's all. Yeah, he's got box out hard as hell.
Exactly. I can box out hard as hell. But I do think that jumping up and down at 43 is going to feel a lot different than jumping up and down at 14. And that's what I'm afraid of mostly.
No, it's not smart. But pickup ball's been such a big thing in my life, and you can always tell somebody who's still playing pickup ball in their 50s or whatever because they're just hobbling down the street with this weird like gait. It's not good for the body.
There's a particular gait. So are you hooping in Westchester? Are you just showing up to the court, putting on the LeBrons and getting out there?
It's not as free willy. Out here you have to join the clubs. You join the people and sign up, and
you're not going to the 24-hour fitness and
no.
Okay, got
the
it.
Hollywood Y. When I was at LA, the Hollywood Y, I was at they had games all day long from morning until like during work hours, basically, because there's so many people that don't have regular jobs there.
Yeah.
And
how would you evalluate your particular skill set on the court? Where do you thrive?
I'm not very good.
Okay, sure. Okay.
Overall, just not great.
Okay.
Sometimes I can do well. Sometimes when my shot's on, but I don't know. I just love it. I love the dynamic. I love the game itself, and I feel like someday I'm going to be really good. You'll see. You don't believe in me, man.
I used to play in Atlanta when I was younger, where I grew up, like in my early 20s, and I always found that it devolved into almost violence, almost every game.
Yeah, I stopped playing at Poinsettia Park because some dude went to get his gun from his car.
Damn.
And another time I was playing tennis there after I stopped playing ball there. And I heard this big fight happening over there, which would happen. And it feels like, the language is something that you think, okay, maybe a gun's going to come out. And then the fight goes on for a while, and then I hear this, fuck you, bro, I'm a wonderful father. I was like, oh shit, they got deep over there.
Those are murderous words to claim somebody is not a wonderful father.
Totally.
Poinsettia Park is the park I worked out in with my trainer during COVID, and I felt like I saw a whole different side of Los Angeles on that basketball court, because there would be a guy like training. That's what you should do. There's those basketball trainers that a lot of adults use.
Well, that's what I did actually. A friend of mine was like, my wife got me this basketball lesson because I want to be picked during the pickup games. And I was like, hey, maybe I'll come by too. And I didn't play growing up. So I was like, these little drills you do. I mean, I didn't really know how to do a layup, actually.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The fundamental
and
move.
so I I did get much better in my, or a little better in my 40s. I don't know how I was playing in my 20s, but I was a young kid, and they felt bad for me.
I would just see these guys training. It would be like a 12-year-old, and the next client would be like a 50-year-old, and I'd be like, "Wow, this is different." To want to be good at something at that age, that's pretty hard. Just being older in general, it's just not for us.
It takes some humility.
It does take some humility. It does take some humility. Well,
because you have to do it in a public park usually, unless you have your own court.
Do you have a court though, or no court at the house?
I have a small court that has a one of those things that passes the ball to you.
Oh yeah.
Oh, nice.
It's it for my son. Okay. I am out there alone sometimes just shooting. It's good therapy. But hey, I wanted to say also, while I think of it, you guys, I really like what you guys are doing, man. I just found your thing. And so, I mean, I haven't listened to all of them because you have like a zillion, you do 3 a week. That's crazy.
It's a lot.
But, yeah, I just wanted to ask a little bit. So I know you have a lot of music guests and stuff, and the acting stuff. I love how you kind of like handle that stuff. You kind of, you're always it's always on the verge of not taking it too seriously, which is great. Some of these podcasts they take.
Yeah, you're telling us, man. You're telling us.
What's Paul Rudd like, Jeremy? What's Paul Rudd like?
Yeah, totally.
No, I mean our philosophy, especially with actors, is like you got to go through the ringer, the press tours, the this and that, and we want to talk about anything but what everyone else has been asking you that you're sick and tired of hearing, and all the same, what's your top 5 favorite blah, blah, blahs, and, like trying to get a viral, clippable moment. We want it to be fun for you.
Do you guys come from the music industry, or how did the music thing be so
sort of. Yeah, I mean, actually, yeah, Jason. Now that I think about it, yeah, I mean, Jason was a DJ and threw parties, and I used to manage bands, and like that's also a lot of our social circle. But acting is something that I don't understand in the same way. So I think if I tried to ask serious questions, it would sound stupid. I would sound stupid. I don't fully understand.
Even if you understood it, you would sound stupid, honestly.
I just think it's a very interesting, it's like, it seems like a great career in so many ways. Obviously, like yours particularly feels pretty good because it's sort of like you can kind of do your thing, right? Like your life is pretty like you work sometimes, you don't work other times, but you can go play basketball and it's all good. That's what's interesting.
Yeah, I've been on a show for 8 years, so so I got a really sweet gig right now. I like the show, I like what I do on it, and so I feel super grateful. But yeah, that Paul Rudd movie that I just did, that was the first time I've done really a movie in quite some time, and an independent movie, and that's the kind of stuff I watch. I like really weird arty movies, whatever.
Sure.
And so it was nice to sort of jump back into that thing. Kind of a little more stressful, I guess, because being on my show is I don't watch my show that much. Like I can't follow procedurals very well. I forget the names and shit. So like I'm not smart enough for my own show. But because of that, I also am like, all right, I'm not exactly the audience. So I really, could kind of pay attention to the writers and the people who really understand this genre. And and it gives me a chance. It gives me a real safe place to play. And I still am trying to, surprise myself. That's the whole thing for acting with me. And that's, I'm trying to surprise myself there. But this other thing, you have a script. We were trying to tell this story for a long time, and I didn't really want to play this character in this movie because he was kind of a dick, and it was like I just didn't want to get. I don't know. I was like, if this is gonna work, I got to be really mean to this kid, and it's got to feel like I really am not.
They're like, bro, yeah, that's the whole thing. You're acting. You're like, no, I know, but I really just don't want to.
Okay, so typically, I mean, I'm sure it's not unusual for an actor to be given a role that you don't necessarily want to do for whatever reason, but then they write you a check for an amount of money where you say, okay, I'm willing to do that. But for this indie flick, I'm assuming there wasn't a pot of gold on the other end of the line to convince you. So then was it just like, I like the script and everything's gonna be all good and I get to work with my bro?
I mean, I don't say no. I'm not good at saying no. It's not been great for my career, arguably, but I just, you offer anything, and I'm like, Minnesota, where you go? Where you guys from?
I'm from Atlanta, and Jason's from LA.
Yeah, but they're like, well, you want to go to, Jacksonville for 3 weeks to play some like serial killer, and I'm like, I think I can make something out of that. That's how I've always been. But once I had kids, it's a little different. It's like playing poker. You're like, I can't sit at a poker table all night while my kids are at home sleeping. But
sure.
But this one was I I wanted to do this one. It was just, I didn't know if I could like pull it off and without a feeling one note. And I felt like there was going to be a pull for me to try to be nicer.
So what did you do? What'd you do to like channel whatever you needed to channel to yell at a 12-year-old neurodivergent child whose dog was lost?
Please don't condescend our plot, okay?
I'm not condescending the plot. I'm saying like
that is actually hard to do. Like that is actually, if you're a person with a heart, that's a hard thing to do. I don't care how actory.
I know it's acting, but I mean, I'm sure I would be able to do it, and I'm not an actor, but I'm sure the first few takes would be like, I'm sorry, I'm just finding my place of how to yell at a wonderful innocent child.
I mean, I guess I felt like the only way it could work, and it was different in the book. The book, the father, he kind of seems like he enjoys being an asshole, and he's more fun to watch. But it was kind of necessary for this guy, I think, for the audience to come around and sort of for there to be any kind of inspiring, arc. There was that he was really miserable, really just really suffering and broken and honestly, I mean, I've never been like a methody guy or whatever that is, but I was, going through some of my own stuff, and there was some stuff that I knew I should do to kind of get my mental health together, and I made the, not something I'd suggest, but I made the choice to be like not deal with it intentionally and
to pump it into this.
Yeah, and so I was miserable. It wasn't a fun time. I was miserable because the side effect of doing that was like also just being feeling insecure and not knowing what and then I'm on set with all the drama of an independent film, and so it wasn't until a couple nights ago that I saw it that I was like, okay, maybe I made the right choice. Because afterwards I was like, I don't know if I should have done that or not. Maybe being confident kind of helps too. But I feel like it worked for this one. So it was one time. I mean, I guess early in my career there were some times where certain experiences sort of aligned with what was going on screen, but this one definitely had that feel.
Mm-hmm. I'm always fascinated with the method thing and how much sort of lore it has around it and how it's sort of like become a thing that like regular people talk about when we don't really know what it's like being around someone like that is probably terrible, and that's what the stories always are, but it feels like it's really like taken seriously, I guess, by novices as well as the actors themselves.
Well, definitely when I moved out in the 90s, I moved out, it was the whole Leo DiCaprio. I mean, this big group of kids that, some have had amazing careers, others have not, but we all were there from wherever the hell in our hometowns, and we're coming out there with our trying to make something. And at the time there was just people were enamored with acting because, Brando and also, Val Kilmer. It was like you kind of needed to be a dick. Temperamental meant you were brilliant. And that acting was this like magic trick almost. And method, well, I didn't know what the hell it was, but I remember getting a studio movie called Hideaway with Jeff Goldblum, who you guys had on. It was a great interview.
Thank you.
And I remember one of the executives coming to me. He was like, "I'm so glad, all of the actors are method." And I'm like, shit, I don't know what I'm doing. And so it was hard in the beginning because, I'd finish a scene and I'd be like, I don't know what just happened, but it definitely didn't feel like I elevated or something. So maybe I'm doing this wrong. But you know what? Like Christian Bale said something that was right. There's different kinds. Like Daniel Day-Lewis. There's only a few actors that really like change their whole personalities. They're like half caricatures, half but really deeply felt. And Christian Bale said, he had to stop doing it on this one movie because he talked to Chris Rock, who was in the movie, and hung out with him as Christian, just shooting the shit, and then went into the scene, and then he couldn't stop talking to Chris Rock, which I get that. And so that's kind of what I did in this. I was like, try not to talk to people, try to just keep my own thing, because if I start, I have the need to take care of people around me, and if I can just stay in my own weird little world, then then it'll be easier to not
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
not talk to them or something like that. So that part of it I can get, but that's not method either.
No, I think part of being method means you don't want other people to talk to you and you create your own little bubble, and I got to focus on the art and anything else is just getting in the way.
Yeah, I'm living off I live with no electricity and I'm playing Abraham Lincoln, so I smoke a pipe. It's like a little, but I guess in the night, do you think the trend of that when you were coming up, do you think that was from like a particular teacher? Was that like coming from somewhere, or was that just, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think now because that bubble has officially popped, I think it's because it was a very profitable thing. And so this award, this prize is if you were able to achieve something in this particular art, then not only would you be rich and famous, but you could do anything. There was like this free pass, and that's why Me Too is probably a pretty good thing to stop some of that stuff. But there was this sense of like it being really, really meaningful. And I don't know where that came from. I think it came from a lot of things. It was fueled by all of our young desire for life and storytelling, so it connects to people in so many different ways, and I don't know, but it's definitely different, and I'm glad it is because it was weird. It was weird.
I mean, that era though, I also feel like, how competitive was it amongst the homies? Because I feel like at a certain point, I've heard stories like this before, and I feel like at a certain point, all of you are kind of trying to do the same thing to some extent, and people are telling everybody they can do the same thing, but then obviously people go in different directions.
Yeah, I'm sure it's pretty competitive. I mean, it's not. I mean, I don't know. It's different for everyone, but competitive to me, yeah. I definitely had a tendency to compare myself and feel bad if somebody got something good. I'd be like,
yeah.
I mean, I did this. I went to, for Dazed and Confused. I was freaking 17 or something. I've told the story before, but I fly out to do the test reading, right? And it's me and one other kid, Jason London, who happened to be dating my sister at the time, and I was happened to be staying with him, and it was between him and me for the role. And then we got, it's like, all the people in the movie are there, and a bunch of other people just hanging around all day long. This is what they used to do. And then towards the end of the day, I'm starting to realize, oh, it's going the other way. And then I wander into the casting office, like that nobody's in there, and I look at like the casting sheet that they put out, and the character is a Jeremy Sisto type. So he wrote the role for me, and I didn't get it. And I just remember going back to Jason's house and like desperately trying to be happy for him.
Yeah.
So
you and him don't talk anymore since then, I'm assuming?
No, I've done everything in my power to get back at him. No. Yeah, I haven't seen him in years.
Every day is another opportunity to get back at Jeremy London. That's every single day.
Jason London, please.
Oh, Jason, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Jeremy Sisto type. Anyone but actual Jeremy Sisto, because they would always say, oh, we can't afford him or we can't get something like that. But I really feel like it's just like we want somebody like him, but
there's always an additional,
whatever the XYZ is.
The XYZ was I didn't know what I was doing. I did a movie when I was 16, and I think I'm weird and awkward in it, but there was a bunch of people that saw it, and they're like, oh, that's like my kid, or they connected to it in a way. And then I move out there, and like, they're like, I'm like, guess I'm going to be an actor. And everyone's like, acting is a really deep thing. And I'd go to these classes, and I'm like trying to like, do these weird things in my head to try to make it right.
Yeah.
And so I completely went away from, what I wanted to do, what I felt about it. And so I was just kind of bad for a while. And there was a casting director who didn't want to see me for a long time. This is funny too. So, okay, I was young. I was really insecure. And I was 19. I was finishing that Jeff Goldblum movie. And I came back down, and, I was like, sure, I grew in that, and my career was about to be over. And just huge imposter syndrome. And I walked into this audition for this movie with Drew Barrymore that they wanted to cast me in. And as I'm leaving, I'm realizing that I just sort of became Jeff Goldblum during the whole reading. Like I was doing a weird Jeff Goldblum imitation.
You'd spent too much time with Goldblum and it rubbed off on you.
Totally. And for some reason that pissed off that casting director quite a bit, or she never wanted to see me again. I'm not sure why, but yeah.
So it seems like you had the gift of acting naturally, inherently already inside of you. And then, the system sort of sucked that out of you. And then how many years were you sort of trying to figure out how to be an actor, even though you already were good at it before you just went back to being your damn self?
Your version, yeah.
Well, it's not a real thing. Acting isn't actually a thing. There's nothing.
I say this all the time, and people get mad at me. I don't understand
there's
the problem.
no thing that anybody can good. Everyone's good.
Some people are better at sociopathy than others, and it just kind of comes naturally. And it is what it is.
It is exactly what you make it to be. And I enjoy doing it. It's healthy for me to do it, and I love watching it if it's done right, if it tells a story that's interesting to me. But yeah, I just needed to forget all the stuff. And right before I went to start taking these classes, I remember my friend Jake Kasdan, who was the director of my first movie, Son, who's a great director himself, called me with another friend and tried to talk me out of going to classes. And I should have listened to him because, I went through these years of, trying to do the things they were telling me to do, and it just didn't work for me. And finally, I was just like, all right, if I'm going to do something as silly as acting, if I'm going to get have the luck to actually keep getting jobs too, it's ridiculous to not just do it the way I want to do it.
Yeah.
The way I can do it. Why try to do something you can't do? It's like, I do these voiceover auditions. I try to do funny voices, and it just does not work. So,
is the voiceover career booming?
Booming. No, I haven't had a job in years, but I wasn't Frozen 2 and Ferdinand.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's as a podcaster, that seems like the natural sort of exit strategy or third act to get into it. But I feel it's always such a highly guarded industry because
celebrities
big money for little work.
I had a great Advil for few years. I'd go in once a year and be like, take Advil, take Axe, and do the same thing. And I'd be like, whatever you want me to, I'll stay longer. And then they let me leave. And
I made sandwiches.
I'll stay longer. Guys, I'm happy to hang out.
Dying for that. Now Will Arnett's eating everyone's fucking VO lunch, huh?
Yes.
I wondered because I feel like John Hamm does a lot as well, and it's sneaky, but I feel like there's no better job in the world.
In the 90s, you couldn't do that as a celebrity. You couldn't do commercials. You couldn't. It was now.
You had to go to Japan.
Now the only way an actor is doing really well, like they just popped in something, is if they're in a Walmart ad.
You're you're either getting divorced or you just had a hit. Those are the two ways to know.
You got the Sky Rizzy gig. Things must be going pretty well over there.
Oh, okay, huh? Prep. You are doing well. Damn.
Which is a damn shame. Being a celebrity meant doing an ad for any brand, even Gucci or something, was sort of like, he's a fucking sellout.
Yeah.
And nowadays, you absolutely have to do that because everyone is just like, well, why don't we just have clothing brands and Walmart and Advil, pay these people's salaries, and we can just say oh, it's just such a crazy time with the budget.
It's such a crazy time.
It's sad. It's definitely the other side of the coin where it's like, you start to take these people that were really inspiring to you, and then you see them on a selling a
Don't
thing.
do this. I bought an espresso because of George Clooney. So I'm telling you right now.
So it works.
I was on the line, and then I saw George, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna look rich. I'm gonna live in Lake Como. I just need an espresso.
But that's also, we do the same thing as podcasters. Like you make the money from the brand deals.
You do your ads pretty well. I fast forward through most of them, but the stuff I hear when it pops in, it's you guys do them well.
We try a little more than others, but. As a podcaster or any type of content creator, a musician or an actor, whatever, you have multiple revenue streams coming in, and those brand deals, no matter who you are at the top of the food list. You know, like that's
Well,
the
it also feels like there's at least a feeling of like that we're trying to grab as much as we can before the entire ship goes down. You know?
Yeah.
So-
But I feel like
Yeah,
I feel
that's
like
true.
you get to. I mean, from what I can tell, you get to act. You know what I mean? You don't really have to like. If you wanted to play ball, I'm sure you could, but there's no pressure to do that from internal sources or external
You're still
sources.
spending Frozen 2 money, baby. You know,
Yeah,
this
that's
is
what I'm
all-
saying. You ain't got to do the Piggly Wiggly
No,
ad.
they don't pay you on the first one. They only pay you in the sequels. So I didn't get nothing on that. But it was funny. I mean, I came in for like 2 sessions, and then I go to the premiere, and it's like from the mind of Jeremy Sisto. I was like right in the center of this thing. I was like, all right, I guess I'm.
This wouldn't have happened without Jeremy, I will say. He got paid scale.
What character was it? What
I know
what kind of animal?
Animal. Oh yeah, there are animals in that. No, I was the evil king in the flashback, so there was no chance of me being in the sequel.
Oh, I see.
Okay, do you ever play a good guy other than, you know?
Yeah, on
the
my show,
FBI?
I've been on a show for 8 years, and then I did a
That's a
company
good
called
guy.
Suburgatory, which is on Netflix now, and that was a good guy, and then Law and Order before that. So I really liked playing bad guys before. Like when I was younger, that was my whole thing. You know, it felt deeper, it felt whatever. I could tap into some bullshit, and now it just once I started having kids, I was like, the bar's a little higher for why I need to work myself into a fizzy over this. Fizzy? Is that what it? Work myself into a sizzy?
Tizzy.
Tizzy, there you go.
So you're
myself
saying
into
because you have
tizzy.
kids, you're like, I need to choose differently,
Yeah.
or work more, or both.
Well, I need to make money to get them through these damn private schools and stuff like that. But or they're going to public. But yeah, I guess I kind of feel like I have to be in a bad mood to some degree if I'm dealing with some hard stuff on camera. Because the things that I love myself, these are arty movies, are people, filmmakers, all the artists that put these things together. They're wrestling with things, and as an actor, you kind of want to be wrestling with the thing.
But then you're saying, but then when you're at home, you got to be you got to be whatever upbeat dad. So it's a little bit of a dichotomy.
Yeah, I just and even with I'm an FBI agent in this thing, and obviously we're dealing with serious stuff. But my whole gig is like I'm in the war room, like shouting out orders and working the information together, and that's just the whole thing is be present, try to discover it in the moment, get some spontaneity in there. But if I'm coming to a movie where it's like the depth of this dude's broken heart or whatever it is, then I just come home and I feel a little deflated, and I feel I'm a little bit more in my head, and so and they don't notice, but
They don't give a shit.
They
but
don't
I
look
do.
up from their iPad to notice that you've gone through quite a struggle today.
You don't know what I'm dealing with, guys. You don't know what I'm dealing with. That's really funny. Well, all right, so how good are you with a gun at this point? Because I feel like you must be pretty nasty at the range.
I mean, I like I said, most of my shit's in a room, in a room. But I do have a gun. I'm the only person with a gun in the FBI JOC, the Joint Operation Command Center. There's at the beginning everyone had guns, but it was horrible for break time because they all have to put their guns in a box on the way out. So anyway, long story. I'm the only one with a gun now.
Thanks, Alec Baldwin.
you had a gun. You had a gun on Law and Order, though.
Yeah, no, I through the 90s. I mean, when there was all those
you were shooting
independent
guns.
movies. Yeah, come to Jacksonville, you want to shoot a raccoon. I mean, it was all. And they just give you a gun too, and hopefully it was blank. It wasn't a real prop guy.
I just find like that part of it being realistic, I feel like is probably takes more time than people realize to feel comfortable, as in your case, like to feel comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, you do the thing with the one arm up on the back, and you look cool and masculine.
As long as you're not a pussy, it comes very easily. To
Exactly. That's exactly. Damn, I was trying. All right, my bad, guys. I'm sorry, fellas.
There was one show on called Wicked City that I did where it was in the 80s, and the stunt guy was like, or the cop or whatever back then was like, well, here's how we used to do, just one arm up. And so there's one movie where I'm going one arm up. It's stupid. You got to do the 2 arms up, and it's fun.
These new
Look
sissy
cool.
boys got to use 2 hands to hold my fucking block.
It's stupid. You got to use 2 hands. You're right, though. You do have to. I don't know anything. I know you got to use 2 hands. That's common. That's common sense. Well, when you're on Law and Order, does that make you like New York royalty? Like, is it different?
It's good, yeah. I mean, I definitely if you're like drunk at 3 a.m. Outside. It was a different time in my life.
Yeah, sure.
And out on coming home from Bungalow 8 or whatever, the cops would definitely be like, all right, we're gonna let this guy pass.
Yeah, I mean that goes back to what you're saying about being, back then being famous really did come with perks, obviously, in addition to the fame and money. But Justin Timberlake 20 years ago, he gets pulled over for a Dewey. They're saying, all right, we'll drive you back home, kid. My daughter loves your album, blah, blah, blah. And now it's like, we got him, boys. I'm going to make this arrest about me. And,
Human nature just really, they enjoy watching the rise of human beings and then being there for them, and then they enjoy watching them fall. It's just kind of a weird thing.
We talk about this a lot on the show, how sometimes the tide just turns. It happened to like Anne Hathaway, for example. Everybody loved Anne Hathaway, and then for a couple years, Anne Hathaway was the worst person on earth. Now Anne Hathaway fully back. Like back. People love her. She's hot.
For no
She's
reason.
sexy. Yeah, there's
nothing changed.
Nothing changed. Like I mean, Timberlake had a few more crimes in his record, but in theory, there was a point where he was beloved for 15 years, and then one day it was like, you know what? No, we don't fuck with this guy anymore, and the tides just completely turned.
Sexy back just doesn't sound the same when you get a little older. Like,
that I agree.
Feels weird.
That's true. Doesn't age like a fine wine, but if Tiger Woods was getting into all of his shenanigans and rolling cars on the golf course in the 80s and 90s, people would have been like, all right, we'll sweep some stuff under the rug, we'll minimize it, we'll get help behind closed doors. Yeah. And now, there's a drone camera.
Oh, yeah.
Kobe's hotel thing.
It's the destruction of the middle class. That's why everyone wants to kill the rich and famous.
It's true.
But, that's another pod.
My favorite is the cops being young enough to, like, not know who people are. That's the other crazy. It's like when you realize that when you were in high school that your teachers were, like, 24 and obviously had done coke the night before. And, like, that's why they're not being so
Jeremy's
nice.
tried it before. He's like, so you never seen Clueless at all, huh, kid? All right. Oh, these cuffs are a little tight.
It was a pretty big movie. It was a pretty.
I was born in 2008, sir. Watch your head as I put you into the back seat.
Oh man! And back in the day, I mean, these bouncers at these clubs, they had a real special ability to they must have been great at faces, because anyone who had been in a commercial, they'd be like, okay, you're good, come on in.
Oh, wow.
And I went to a club recently. Yeah, they had no idea.
You went to a club recently?
I know, it was weird, but I just felt like I wanted to just dip in and
what was the occasion and where was the club?
It was in Manhattan, and I don't even know where. It was I just walked there with a couple friends and just kind of observed, and yeah, it's pretty much the same vibe, I guess. It just looks a little different from this vantage.
Oh, so because you're saying in your heyday you were out is what it sounds like to me.
Yeah,
it is not the same vibe, Jeremy, and you know it.
Yeah,
you were in New York and L.A. and some of the heydays.
The greatest times.
You were probably maybe a partial investor in a club here or an ultra lounge there.
Cinespace, baby, Cinespace on Sunset.
Well, Jeremy, I already knew that, and that's why I wanted to bring it up, because I used to work at Cinespace, and that's where that was my first job in LA, and
are you serious?
That's how I got into music, and I started throwing a weekly party there that became a big deal, and I started DJing from there.
Is that right?
Oh my That's God. Right. And I remember at the time the owners would be like, yeah, Jeremy Sisto's coming in, got clear table 48. So, I mean, not in a bad way. There's other investors who would come in, and it's just that beautiful trope that doesn't exist anymore of just like the guy who put $5,000 in and acts like he owns a place, bringing 10 girls in, wanting comp bottles.
Yeah. I actually thought it was a good investment for when I did it. And then I realized when I kept coming in and they'd have all new furniture every 4 weeks. I'm like, so you guys just keep using the money to do new things. You're not giving any of it back.
Are you saying, Jeremy, that you didn't see your return on investment in Cinespace Hollywood? Are you saying that on the record?
Okay.
They try. Well, it's an idea that was a little before its time. Obviously, now we've got Alamo draft houses and similar. You come in, you can have a comfortable chair, watch a movie, get a cocktail and an actual good meal, and not just eating a hot dog or whatever.
Yeah,
that's found success. Now 20 years later, it was just a little too early before its time.
When I was doing that, I on my tour when they were taking me through, the Hanson brothers were there, and I mean, I thought the Hansons were in as well. I only found out later the Hansons dropped out last minute. So that's when I knew I had made an error, you know?
Oh, yeah. Those guys are known for their investing.
You saw the Hansons and you said, where do I sign?
Yeah.
These boys are in
I would
it.
have followed them.
They were the Nas of their time. They were ground floor of Uber. You know what I mean?
So as an investor, you never really took advantage of that. You kept your head down. You didn't.
No, I would go in sometimes. I had one date there that was really fun, and then I would go there sometimes with my friends, but it wasn't exactly my scene. I mean, they're just trying to figure out what what hits, what gets the people from Encino to come in and So
yeah, but eventually they pivoted to just having parties as a nightclub, and I think found some more financial success there.
Yeah, I saw a lot of that too. It was a great time. It was a windfall.
Okay. What was I'm sure it changed your life. It changed your life.
They did open a new a burger thing. I don't know if that's still there.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Kitchen 24.
Yeah, that's right. That place was good. Is that still around?
I think they got one in WeHo still. There was one in Hollywood, but okay. It was funny. I was just in that neighborhood. I went to right in that little corridor on Cahuenga in Hollywood. And people are sharing videos about this was Hollywood in 2006 versus 2026, and
interesting.
It really was everyone says crime was 10 times more, and the murder rate was way higher than it is now, but it really did look like an idyllic. We didn't know what we had at the time. It really was, and if you drive over there now, it's just nasty. It's just a bummer.
Yeah, is it? It's that's a bummer. Yeah, Daddy's was our spot. Did you ever go to Daddy's?
Oh shit! Yeah, I know about Daddy's.
Yeah, that was
where was Daddy's?
It's on Vine, I think.
Okay, so there.
Yeah, it was like a locals, if you know, dive bar spot. It was if you work in the industry, if you're a bartender or whatever, and you also are where can I do coke in the daytime? Dad,
Yeah, they had that on the ads.
I have a perfect place for you, actually. Just come.
But it kind of had a little early Jones Hollywood kind of feel of just for what nothing happened to sort it out. The crowd sort of policed itself, and the right people went and the wrong people avoided it, and they didn't try to make it a big deal for a reason. Which we need more exclusivity nowadays. We need more door people who are you are good, you are not good, versus you have money and you.
We
are
talk
not.
about that too. The art of that is now it's literally I just look at the iPad and see if your name is there. It used to be more of a taste level thing.
Right.
That was what the job. That's what the job was.
Oh, interesting.
Like you're saying, knowing Face It, that was the job. If you have to subscribe to fucking Hollywood Reporter to know who can come in here, then that's part of the job. You got to recognize.
And you got to want to.
Yeah, they were good. They were good at it.
You got to have fun pointing people.
Exactly.
I don't like that at all. I don't like that exclusive vibe at all. It makes me feel very uncomfortable. But I did enjoy it for a while because they always recognized me, and
they
I've
let
always
you
felt
in.
like an outsider. So
I would say the word exclusive has a bad meaning because people attach it to you're excluding swaths of people based on class or race or financial ability or whatever. And I always just wanted to be exclusive of dumb people, shitty people. And shitty people come in every race, gender.
Only the shitty people you want to leave.
I think it should be a looks-based system. That's obviously what it actually
that plays a large part in it, of course, but
Are you dumb?
You
might be dumb,
people.
but I think we're going to find a way to make this one work. I think we're going to find a way to get you
dumb
in here.
Dumb and hot, you're in. Dumb and rich, you're in.
Yeah, exactly,
okay?
Exactly.
I don't like it.
Okay, were you doing the poker nights back then too?
Oh yeah, of course. That was the heyday of. I mean, also at that time, because poker was so in the mainstream culture that you'd go to every one of these Hollywood parties you'd go to at Stars, and then these degenerate poker players walking around.
You got Toby in the back.
Yeah. He's kind of a mixture of both.
Yeah.
I saw something recently that he won $40 million last year. So
year?
A staggering amount of money playing poker, an unbelievable amount of money playing poker.
Yeah, man.
And I'm like, you guys are
He used to
focused
be a
on his
friend.
22-year-old girlfriend. I don't care about that. He made $40 million playing poker.
Fuck Toby.
He used to be a friend, and I do remember he came and he got me into a pyramid scheme, and he was great at it. So the pyramid schemes where it basically was give me $100, and then get 8 people to give you $100, and you just made $700. Right?
Sure.
And so Toby would go into the bars with these stacks of $100 bills and be like, look what I got going on, and he would kill it. He'd get all these people. I never got a second person.
So like truly like the world's first pyramid scheme. It wasn't like a cool thing involving a hot new product. It was just like flipping $100 bills.
Yeah, but they were at the time there were groups that were doing it, getting together in suburbs and stuff. There was like, this is how it works, and it's funny because it's kind of the same thing as stocks, but it's a Ponzi scheme, I guess.
Yeah.
A Ponzi scheme that if it keeps going, then it's.
I can't believe the Ponzi is in 2026. People are still falling for this.
I like that you were down. You sound like you were just down for whatever. I appreciate that. I was like, yeah, fuck it. Here's $100. Let's see what happens. You know what I mean?
Let it
how
ride.
bad could this be? How bad could this be?
I mean, the other option is making him feel uncomfortable. You know what I mean? Like,
sure.
Put himself out there like that.
Yeah. To put yourself out there. Are you very good at poker?
I was pretty good at tournaments. I used to play tournaments a lot. I used to go down to the Hustler Casino. They have a tournament every night, and I did a couple of those Celebrity Pro televised things. And I remember
ESPN Ocho.
Who's on at the table with you?
And I became friends with like the Unabomber and the Magician and stuff like that.
Those are my guys. Unabomber, Magician. We go down to Commerce at 3 a.m. with the Unabomber.
And I did make a great call on the Unabomber in one of those televised events. He pulled the river card, which was not fun, but I won in my mind. Yeah, poker's a tough one. There's slightly too much luck in it for me to love the game anymore. Like I'd like just maybe 12% more skill.
Okay, I see what you're saying. You feel like you maxed out on it because the luck part is obviously you can't prepare for it.
And all games are some percentage skill, some percentage luck.
It's a bummer to watch somebody accidentally take a jackpot away from people who are much better than them for no reason other than just pure luck.
Yeah, but some people love it. You know what I mean? So I still play sometimes. I just started playing again at a couple of home games because my kids are old enough to, not care if I'm around.
Well, you can't take taking their money is taking your own money, so it doesn't really count. Is it like it's more for sport?
Oh no, I'm not playing with them. I'm going to home games.
You're saying so your whole Westchester community, you're walking, you're gambling. I see what's going on.
You see what's happening.
I see what's going on out there. It's a little cooler maybe than people know. Is what I'm.
No.
So when you go over to someone's home game, do you bring a bottle of wine, a little charcuterie, some Cubans? What do you bring over?
Rye whiskey.
Okay.
You ever heard of that?
Yeah, I have heard of that.
You ever heard
of that,
rye.
Pussy? What brand rye are we dropping that big old circular cube into, brother?
I don't know. I just now recently could maybe taste the difference between bourbon and rye. So I don't know what between different ryes.
I remember when rye first hit the scene, and I remember
when did rye hit the scene. I thought rye was always there.
Well, existing and hitting the scene are two different things.
It became a thing.
As soon as Bullet Bourbon also started having Bullet Rye, and you'd go to the bar and be like, let me get a bourbon and diet. Wait, bourbon rye. And they're like, whoa, who the fuck is this guy? Holy shit. It's like the first guy who ordered whole grain bread instead of white at the bakery. Like, this guy, he's onto something.
Or kale. The first guy that ordered kale was a dick.
You can eat this stuff, guys.
It's a little tough at first. You just got to really massage
push
it.
Through.
Okay, so no cigar. Are we? Who's vaping at the table? Are we vaping at the table?
No, I don't do the vape. I don't like them. I miss smoking though. Smoking was a fun one.
I feel like you could probably go have a cig out back.
I have a cigarette every now and then, but I don't feel good about it. But it just is something nice about it, And it used to be a real cultural thing. We go outside. I could get out of a conversation. By saying I'm going to go out and have a cigarette. Like that was an appointment. I could be like, I got to go do this. It was great.
Jeremy, you could do that today if you want to. Just letting you know.
Yeah.
I do that all the fucking time. But then you also have to be a smoker.
Yeah, it's a commitment on both sides. Both sides.
Yeah.
How old are your kids?
14, 17.
Oh, okay. So you're getting near the end.
I know.
I mean, it's the home stretch.
Yeah, well, yeah. I don't know. It's just they're just different versions of it. It's just different versions of it. But we are getting through the middle school era was weirdly challenging for me, like sort of kind of accepting them going from my little buddies and to being out in the world and I can't protect them and like especially with the girls. The girls are weird at the school and you know.
I would say middle school is probably my most awkward years as a teen. It was probably where
it was not great for me.
You know, that's where you make the biggest shift.
Do they have big plans for the future that don't align with your plans for their future?
I don't have plans for their future. I don't have plans for my own future, honestly. And I didn't when I was young either. So I'm really
that's good.
In a way, this whole like what jobs are going to exist. It kind of puts everyone else in the same place that I've always been in. Like, what do we do for a living? I mean, I've been lucky enough to do this weird job. This dries up, and I don't even understand how to like survive in the world. But you know, I'm hoping my kids have the wherewithal to you know pivot with whatever this world's becoming. And yeah, it's hard to predict. What I have found is like whatever I'm worried about, that never happens. It's always something else.
Sure. Yeah, it's always a fun surprise, no matter what.
It is. I could only imagine because now, you know, the three of us as sort of freelance, creative people who have various odd jobs, it could all go away tomorrow. You never know. And then but everyone I know who works at Uber or Google or, you know, Salesforce, their level of job security is pretty much in line with ours, and they only have one skill versus like
that's so true.
I stopped being able to do this, but I'm able to fall back on my TikToking or whatever it may be. You know?
Well, I would say
I'm an accomplished home chef on YouTube, and that's how I'm paying.
Well, the one difference is they got stocks that vest, and we don't. I didn't get any. You know. On the ground floor here when we started this thing.
Right.
Well, how's that Peloton stock looking now?
Yeah, I'm not a ground floor guy either. I mean, if I had bought any of those, $1,000 like properties on Vine, and you know, think about that. I didn't do any of it right, but whatever, it's fine. I'm still going.
How many? Do you have a house in LA still or no?
No. I just got this.
We're fully divested from Los Angeles.
Yeah. I mean, it just seems crazy. So it's an empty house there for half the time. I don't like it. But also, kids are in school. They got sports, you know what I mean? So
you're like you're locked in. You got to be here. And where do you shoot?
In Brooklyn.
Oh, so you're right down. They send the car and you're there. It's easy to go.
No, I auto drive. So I have a Tesla. I don't have the bumper sticker about the Elon thing on that either. But yeah, Tesla is the only one.
You actually use the auto drive?
I haven't driven in years.
You got your feet up on the dashboard, reading your sides on the way to work every morning?
Oh yeah. Whenever I got the little camera up here, whenever I have to actually drive, I'm like, this is very unsafe. This feels
I shouldn't be doing this at all.
I shouldn't be doing this. Why are they letting me do this?
Damn, I've never heard of anyone so full-throatedly endorse the self-driving. It feels
I don't know why we're driving anymore. Why are we all driving? Because it's dangerous and people are space cadets and they're on their phones and stuff. I mean, it's not really. Only Tesla is ready. The other ones are still like the versions are real schlocky but Tesla's gotten better and better. They put a lot of money, I guess, into mapping out the fucking country.
Do you have like a weekend car that still takes gas and shit to feel like a man or no?
No. I'm not a car guy.
I'm not either. I'm not either.
I'm not like a possessions guy. Like I've trouble with, and you know, human beings have always found meaning in possessions. And granted, and that's been a cool thing spiritually. But for me, it always, I guess I've got a bully thing for something. Growing up, I'm feeling like on the outside. If I have possessions as a thing, it feels like, I don't know. But it's a problem because I would like to be able to do that.
You want to learn how to possess.
Yeah,
you don't got watches, baseball cards, nothing. You're just a guy out here living.
I got a couple of cool guitars, and I've got one piece of art that is really cool, sculpture.
Okay. Oh, this is great. I'm sure your wife loves this. She can spend all the money.
Exactly.
It's excellent.
It's just, I mean, it's fine. I almost everything I need to do is just on my computer. And, you know, that's one of the only possessions I really need. And everything else is just kind of.
Do you guys collect anything? Or?
I'm pretty far down the rabbit. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
More him than me.
What do you got?
Books, mostly like art and photography, but then T-shirts, like specifically music T-shirts. That are now ranging in price from high to higher, I think is where we're at now.
They go up.
You know that REM shirt you used to have that's worth $1,800 now? Chris got to have it.
Yeah, that's kind of the vibe. It's a very certain...
Oh my God. Is that how high could they go?
I think somebody sold my guy I think my guy sold the most expensive. I think he sold a My Bloody Valentine for $8,000, maybe, or I think it was or maybe Jesus and Mary chain. One of the, but it's getting to the point where it's like stuff that I cannot believe anyone else cares about is like
Right.
500 minimum, and I'm like, all right, I don't know. I thought this was.
What
niche.
do you do? What do you do with them? Where do you have them?
I have them in my
Just in your
closet.
closet?
I wear them. I wear them now. I used to not wear them, and now I wear them pretty often. But I used to cap myself, and then that's a battle because if you really want it, the cap obviously moves. It's the self
a problem.
The self policing.
But people do they collect vintage T-shirts like Pokemon cards. It's purely an investment. They don't have the person who owns that My Bloody Valentine shirt probably is not a fan of My Bloody Valentine. It's just I got the expensive rare thing, and now you're envious of me. And
it's definitely some
my baller status.
It's some nerdy online. There's a lot of guys also that particularly trade and won't sell, which is the ultimate tease where they're putting up something. I'm like, bro, I'll give you the 500. Like, oh, trade only. I'm like, all right, loser. Like, what is that? What is it? Like, this is what are you doing this for? You know what I mean? But it's not like I've never sold anything. I only buy. So it's like it's not
right?
a game.
Okay.
It's not like some thing for me in that way.
Yeah, I met this dude who is a Uber driver, and he was like kind of just cool street kind of fellow, and he was like. He's like, I'm making a lot of money in Disney pins right now. I was like, all right.
Honestly, it's the same kind of thing. I think the internet really has opened the world up to the buying and selling in a whole new way where you can find any niche and ride it for a little while.
I met a guy literally 3 days ago who said, like, I used to work at CAA. And now I left and I do Pokemon cards full time. And the first 6 months, all my coworkers would, obviously tease the shit out of you, talk shit. 8 months later, full opposite. They're asking him for a job. What? It's more stable and lucrative than stocks and crypto than anything else.
I've learned so much. There's a website called Whatnot that's like you buy like auction slots and it's a live auction and people are, I mean, whether it's cards like sports cards or Pokemon cards or t-shirts or whatever, it's like people are making thousands of dollars in like 30 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
It's just a whole it's a whole
it's cool. It makes me think like, sorry, go ahead.
I was just giving a plug to Whatnot. I love those guys over there.
Yeah, it kind of makes me feel hopeful about like the whole AI fear and stuff, because when we came into this world there was like a structure of the world that was there, right? It felt like that, like, all right, let me find my spot in this thing. But now getting a little distance from it, it's all made up. All jobs are just made up things for us to have things to do and feel like there's meaning and create a world that we're just creating for ourselves. So I gotta imagine we'll figure our way around it.
I'm every day I'm struggling, and we will find our way.
Yeah, we will. I don't know. I feel positive.
And some of those jobs do need to be replaced by AI, though. Just to be clear,
yeah, plenty.
Yeah, and I feel like AI. I don't know. I have a real. I mean, I never took that stuff seriously, but I have a bit of a Pollyanna vibe with the robots. I just feel like what makes people do bad things is they're complex creatures, and they have things like things like jealousy and stuff like that. But a machine model, they're not going to develop those emotions. So I feel like it should work itself out, and they should hopefully value human experience, and they'll take care of us.
You should Jason's chatbot side piece is not happy with him right now, and I don't know where it could go. I don't know where it could go from there. Do you know what I mean?
Really have a chatbot?
Do not talk about her. No, I don't. No. Well, I have the closest thing I have is I have it's called Speechify, where you can have AI read articles for you. Like when you're out walking the dog, you can listen to all your New Yorker articles or whatever. And I have Gwyneth Paltrow as the voice who does that.
That is nice. I didn't know that.
It's nice. The AI version of her, and it sounds a hell of a lot like her. But when she's crazy. It's not necessarily a girlfriend experience when she's reading me a story about like.
Yeah, the Andrew Tate 10,000 word New Yorker story through Gwyneth's lens is not. It's not really changing.
On Andrew Tate.
Sounds pretty hot to me.
Oh God! All right, Jeremy. Thank you for joining us on How Long Gone. We appreciate it, bro. It was a pleasure.
Thank you guys so much. Have me back.
The film Rain. Is that what it's called?
Rain. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, with Paul Rudd and This new girl Felice is amazing. So yeah,
The first rain is like when water comes down. The second rain is like a rain of terror.
that's right. Thank you, Reign of Terror. That's good. It just premiered at Tribeca, and so now it's officially for sale.
Okay.
So I'm trying to sell it.
Okay. All right. Well, if we got any buyers on the line, go ahead and hit the producers. They're looking to make a sale. We're down for a streamer. We don't need theatrical. I mean, I'm not going to be a diva.
The theaters, especially
If I can get a deal done, I'd like kind of something on the back end, if you don't mind.
Yeah, just a little something for How Long Gone. 0.5%.
All right, guys, this has been a pleasure, man. This has been a real pleasure. I appreciate you.
See you later.